Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 3.ET.2, where we're going to add a baseline. So, first thing to do is make sure we know scale degrees. I'll just write them out down here. We have 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 5, 4, 4, and then that's just the repeating. So with a 1, that's could be a 1 chord, could be a 4 chord. 5 could be a 1 chord, could be a 5/7 chord. 6 can only be a 4 chord. We've already done 5. 4 could be 4, could be 5/7. 3, that can only be a 1 chord at this point. 2 can only be 5/7, and then 1 could be 1 or 4. We've already done all of these. 5 is either a 1 or a 5/7. 4, 4 or 5/7. 3 is a 1 chord, and 2 is a 5/7 chord. So, we have now some choices to make. There are bar lines. It would be weird to start on a 4 chord. Tunes don't usually start on chords that aren't 1. It happens. Beethoven's First Symphony starts with a 5/7/04 chord, which we won't even worry about until the third semester, what that actually means. Some kind of dominant seventh. But I think we start on 1. That has to be a 4 chord. And then over here, again, I think we need to end on a 1 chord there. So here in the middle, we have some choices. We should probably, I don't know. Let us go over to the keyboard and listen to our different options. So this is using a 1, 5/7, 4, 5/7. Don't really dig that first one. Oh, I kind of like that, where it just hangs out on 1 for most of the first bar, and then the 4 is kind of a neighbor chord. Then I could, so we've done 1 and 4, and then maybe the next bar we go to 5/7. And then we just alternate that bar, so that works. And then, okay, so that we have this idea of alternating now. Could we do that in our next bar with, I realize I'm playing this in the wrong key, I'm sorry, we're in F. There we go. And then I could just alternate between 1 and 5/7. I could also use that 4 chord in the second position. I kind of like that better. That gives it a little more variety. So, having listened, these are the choices that I'm making. So, what I'm going to do is write the chord symbols underneath this lowest staff. So we have 1, 4, 1, 5/7, 1, 5/7, 1. And then 1, 4, 1, 5/7, and that all gets repeated. Write the bass line in the lowest staff, so that would be. Ooh, I think I hear thunder out. Exciting times. That's just writing the roots of the chords. What octave you write them in isn't a huge deal. Just want to make sure that you can identify the roots of the chord successfully, and then label a cadence at the end of each phrase as a half cadence, authentic cadence, or plagal cadence. Here we have a 5/7 to 1, so that's going to be an authentic cadence. Here we're ending on 5/7, so that has to be a half cadence, and as a reminder, a plagal cadence would be a 4 to 1 motion. So that's what we have going on here. Actually, one moment. I realized we didn't actually talk about plagal cadences, so I should probably do that because that's in this section of the textbook. Great. So now that we have a 4 chord, we've talked about 5/7 to 1 being authentic, so anything to 5/7 being a half cadence. Technically, it could just be a 5, doesn't need to be a 5/7. and usually this is just a 5 and not a 5/7. So then 4/1 is what we call a plagal cadence. And this is what it sounds like. So if we're in C, then you're moving along, you have a phrase, and in a lot of Christian hymns, the words come at the end of the hymn and are set to that 4/1 cadence, because it gives a sense of finality without beating you over the head with it. It's kind of a peaceful sigh at the end of a piece, and that happens in Amazing Grace. If we think about it having 2 8-bar phrases, then at the end of the first phrase, sorry, we end on a 5/7 chord, so that's going to be a half cadence. And then having a 4/1 at the end is really tasty. And something that makes that work is the fact that both the 4 chord and the 1 chord have scale degree 1 in them. So that's pretty tasty. And this would be a plagal cadence. So that's what we have for now, and I will see you next time.